Summary of 16th day of Russian attack on Ukraine. Moscow again besieges Kyiv. Putin allows volunteers to take part in war. Russia's invasion of Ukraine entered its 16th day on Friday, March 11, 2022, since Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered an attack he described as a special military operation on February 24. On this 16th day of the Russo-Ukrainian war, new things happened. For example, Russian troops are reported to be returning to the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, which it is feared is planning a new offensive in the next few days. There are also reports of the situation in Mariupol becoming increasingly desperate after being surrounded by Russian troops. For more details, here is a summary of the 16th day of the Russian attack on Ukraine that can be seen. 1. The capital city of Kyiv is at risk of being besieged by Russian troops again. The Ukrainian military reported on Friday that Russian tanks appeared to be moving in areas north and west of the capital, with several suburbs being heavily bombarded. Ukrainian presidential advisor Mykhailo Podolyak called Kyiv a city under siege. 2. The United States and its allies moved to end normal trade relations with Russia, allowing them to impose sharp tariff increases on Moscow. Washington announced a ban on Russian seafood, vodka and diamonds. Meanwhile, together with the European Union, the US prohibits the export of luxury goods to Russia. Meanwhile, Canada imposed new sanctions on Russian oligarchs including Roman Abramovich. 3. US President Joe Biden has once again ruled out direct intervention by the US to stop Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He warned that such a conflict, pitting the NATO alliance against Russia, is a third world war. 4. The situation in the southern Ukrainian city of Mariupol, which is under siege and constantly under attack by Russia, is a desperate one. A Doctors Without Borders executive called for urgent action to avoid an unimaginable tragedy in the port city. Doctors Without Borders is an independent international medical humanitarian organization that provides emergency assistance to communities affected by armed conflict, epidemics, people without health care and victims of natural disasters. The city of Mariupol has reportedly been without water and electricity for 11 days. The mayor of Mariupol said his city was being bombed every 30 minutes, with 1,200 civilians already dead and reports of people starving and bodies in the streets. 5. An apartment block and a shoe factory were hit by the first airstrike in downtown Dnipro, with a kindergarten also damaged. The city of Dnipro was until now seen as a safe haven from Russian attacks. A house for the disabled near Kharkiv in the east was also reportedly bombed by Russian forces, with 330 people there at the time. Russia also announced that the Lutsk and Ivano-Frankivsk military airfields, in western Ukraine closer to the Polish border, had been decommissioned. 6. European Union leaders plan to provide an additional €500 million for military support for Ukraine and massive sanctions against Russia, if the Kremlin continues its war. 7. The Kremlin says Syrian fighters can fight for Russia in Ukraine after President Vladimir Putin backed a plan to recruit 16,000 volunteers, mostly from the Middle East. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accused Moscow of employing killers from the country they had destroyed, as they did in Ukraine. 8. Ukrainian officials noted that around 100,000 people have been able to leave the northeastern city of Sumy, the eastern city of Izium and the northwestern regions of Kyiv in the past 2 days. 9. Quoted from Reuters, Russia restricts access to Instagram, one of the most popular platforms there. Russia claims Instagram carries content urging people to attack its armed forces. 10. Facebook on Friday granted temporary permission to upload calls for violence against Russia. However, the move was not supported by the United Nations and was condemned by Russia. The United Nations voiced a warning at Facebook's decision to temporarily relax its policy of violent expression following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, warning it could spark hate speech. Moscow prosecutors also opened a case against its parent company, which owns Instagram, for calling for the murder of Russians. The platform said it would allow statements such as death to the Russian occupier but not threats to civilians. 11. The UN Security Council is due to meet on Friday after Russia said biological weapons were being developed in Ukraine, a claim Washington and Kyiv deny. The United States said it was a sign Moscow would soon use the weapon itself. 12. The United Nations reports that more than 2.5 million people have fled the unreasonable war in Ukraine. Of that number, more than half went to Poland.